for joining us from the American Heart Association's Epi Lifestyle 2024 meeting. My name is Monica Serra, and I am here with Victor Zhong to talk about his abstract number 637, which is on time-restricted eating and mortality. So Victor, my first question is, what led you to explore this question of time-restricted eating and mortality?
Thank you for your question, Monica. Time-restricted eating, also we can call it TRE, is becoming quite popular these days. And the short-term randomized trials have repeatedly shown that TRE can reduce weight and improve cardiovascular health. But these randomized trials are conducted in less than 1 year. We do not know the long-term consequences of TRE, such as cardiovascular disease and mortality. So that's why we conducted this first study to look at the association between TRE and mortality.
That's great. I would love to hear a summary basically of the background methods and your results.
Thank you. We actually conducted a prospective cohort study of more than 20,000 US participants, and we used National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey. And based on this data, in a median follow-up of 8 years, we found that people who followed 8-hour TRE had higher cardiovascular mortality, both in the general population and also in people who have cancer and the cardiovascular disease as a baseline.
I can imagine that given the extent of the population and looking at dietary factors, that there were several co-founders that may be influential in these outcomes. So I am curious, what potential confounders did you look into?
Confounding control is definitely very important in an observational study. And in our analysis, we controlled a lot of confounders such as age, sex, race, ethnicity, several socioeconomic variables, smoking, drinking, BMI, and also diabetes, dyslipidemia, hypertension, and the positive association between 8-hour TRE and the mortality survived comprehensive confounding control.
All right, my next question I'm curious about are what are some of the biological factors that you think may be playing a role in how time-restricted eating affects mortality?
For the mechanisms, actually, we do not have the data to look at mechanisms in detail, but we did find that people who follow 8-hour TRE had a lower lean muscle mass compared to people who eating duration was 12 to 16 hours, which is our comparison subset. And the loss of lean muscle mass has been linked to cardiovascular mortality. But for the other mechanisms, we need more studies to look at in the future.
That's a great response and things to think about. So when you think about the results of your study, what are the next steps then that you're wanting to explore? So
for the future research plan related to this topic, first we need other studies to replicate our findings from other populations, and second, we need to investigate biological mechanisms underlying the positive association of 8-hour TRE with cardiovascular mortality. So these are the two questions I think are very, very important for further investigation.
I would agree. Definitely looking at the biological mechanism seems of importance in a population like this. And as we start to delve into some of those and with the findings that you have come up with, what do you think, or how do you think the outcomes that you've seen will change dietary guidelines or have the potential to change dietary guidelines?
It's very challenging to say that we can change dietary guidelines based on this observational study. But based on what we have known so far, focusing on what people eat may be more important than focusing when to eat. There are many healthy dietary choices, such as DASH diet and the Mediterranean diet that we can choose to lower cardiovascular death risk.
Thank you so much. This has been extremely informative, and we really look forward to visiting your poster number 637 at, again, the American Heart Association's Epi Lifestyle meeting.
Thank you very much, Monica, for having me.